I'm going to show you the experiment that I've been working on of creating this candle that is lighting up, and we're going to do all of this in FlipaClip. So to go ahead, we're going to go ahead and start, and we have to make our background a little bit colored. You know how I usually do this. So I'm going to give it a semi-black color, and then I'm going to name it candle animation. And I'm going to go ahead and create the project. It's 12 frames per second. And I'm going to start off by sketching the candle. And you know how we do this. Usually we start off with the pencil. And I'm going to go for a little bit of a grayish, because it's going to be in between gray and white color. And drawing the candle shouldn't be the problem. Yeah. So that should be good. Now we're going to go ahead and start drawing the flame. And for the flame, I'm going to bring my pencil again. And I'm going to go ahead and add a layer. And we're going to need a little bit of a yellowish color. So I'll use that color. And so when I was doing my research, I realized that candles do not have this, what we usually draw as a flame. They don't have that. This is wrong. They actually have an elongated kind of ish flame that tends to be like this instead of this. So this is right. This is wrong, guys. Don't draw a flame like this. This is very wrong. When I was doing my research, I saw all that. This is what a flame is supposed to look like, not this. All right. So let's go ahead and start drawing our flame. And let me get rid of this first. Actually, let me draw my flame using the Inca brush, because I'm going to be filling it in, so I don't want it to spread all over. So it's going to start from around here. Oops, that's black. I need my yellow color. And I'm going to start it from around here. And you can see I'm still falling for that cliche that I talked about that is not right. But I'll have to correct it. And so my flame is going to be looking a lot more like this. Let me give it a little bit of a tongue of the fire over there. And a lot more this way. Now that's too much. Now I need to bring the paint bucket. I'm going to choose this color and fill it in. Get rid of any other pixels that may stay in there that we don't need, like this. Now that I filled that in, I'm gonna go ahead and bring my sketching pencil. I'm gonna make this bigger and sketch to fill in all these other little details here. And okay, so we've established this is gonna be my flame. Now, actually, let me do something here because I realized another thing that flames have that we don't pay attention to. So I'm gonna bring out my eraser. I'm gonna make it as soft as possible, but big. Let me see what that looks like. That's not big enough. So yeah, flames have kind of this thing, this transparent thing going on here, down here, that we never pay attention to. And so to bring that transparent kind of feeling, I'm gonna do that. They usually have it on top this way as well, but I'm not gonna do that because it's gonna be kind of hardish to animate. But they usually have it up top there as well. I'm gonna leave it only down here, and that should be enough. And so now what's gonna happen, we're gonna start animating this candle. But what is going to happen, we have to copy everything on this keyframe and then start adding it on different keyframes as we go by and start animating the light. So what's gonna happen, we're gonna go ahead and tap the keyframe that we have, copy it, and then insert it on the next frame. And so we have two frames now. If I play it, you can't see any difference because it's the same exact frame. So what's gonna happen, we're gonna bring the eraser again. We're gonna make it as soft as possible, and we're going to make it smaller this time, around 15 points, around 10 to 15 points. And we're going to start erasing our candle in some places. So what we're gonna do is we're going to erase it in the middle here. Like so. Let me turn my onion skinning on. Yeah, it's on, so I can see at least a frame back and a frame before. And depending on how violent you want your light to be is how much you're going to erase. You see that? Only 2 frames and we're starting to get an animation going on right there. And so we're going to copy this first frame and we're going to insert it again on the right side. And now we have 3 frames and we already have an animation going on there. But now on the 3rd frame, we're going to erase a little bit more to make it still a little bit different. So you don't have to make very big changes because the candle actually lights up. It's like a little bit of a light dancing on top of the candle. So it makes very, very little subtle changes. You can see that. Very, very, very small subtle changes. The fire does. And you're gonna need a lot of frames, really. You're gonna need you're going to need about at least 16 frames to make this animation look smooth enough and beautiful. And you can see now we have only 3 frames. I'm gonna go ahead and add a 4th. And still I'll go ahead and do those subtle changes with my eraser. Oh, that went in too deep, but let me go with it and see where it takes us. And you can see it's starting to look good. Let me start to wedge it up here, up top a little bit. And let me add another one. Let me copy this same exact one on frame 4 and add it to frame 5. Very, very subtle. You almost don't see what I'm erasing here because I'm erasing just a little bit on the tongue of the flame. But when you play it, you can see the difference there. And sometimes you have to erase and add at the same time. So we're going to erase that and erase a little bit there. But now that we're cutting off a little bit of the flame down here, I'm going to go ahead and bring the pencil and I'm going to add a little bit on top. And make it go this way a little bit. That's too much. Yeah, like right there. That will be great. Let's play it again and see. I think I went too fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eraser and I erase a little bit of this point that I put up top. I'm going to make it grow bigger in the next frame. So let me copy this and paste it in. And now I'm going to make it go where I wanted it to go in the last frame. Like right there. But I still need my eraser to cut out a few things. And afterwards, I'm going to show you the glow effect that FlipaClip added to the new update that you can use. Remember, industry standard 24 frames per second. So if you have 24 frames in your animation, it means your animation will run for 1 second. But since we have 12 frames per second in this animation, if we have 24 frames, it means our animation will run for 2 seconds. And that's good. Two seconds is good enough to animate the light in a loop. Now let's play our 24 seconds and see what we have. And now to make it loop back and forth, we're going to go ahead and select frames like the last 3 frames to make them. Let me select the last 4 frames. So I'm going to copy 4 and I'm going to paste it forward to make it loop kind of in a circle. And I'm going to paste it forward. And I'm going to select frame 3. Copy. And paste 3 forward. Paste forward. There's something happening around frame 24 that I don't like. I wrote into my work, it's this line here. It's like a shooting star. And we're gonna go for frame number 2. Copy. We're gonna paste it forward. And we're gonna go for frame number 1 because the last frame has to be exactly as frame number. The last and the first have to be the same in order for a loop animation to be good. So where it starts off is where it picks up from. And when we play this, you can see now it's a continuation. Everything seems to be falling in place the right way. And so this is our candle now with the light. But to make things look even better, we're going to bring in the new feature that FlipaClip created, which is the glow effect. So to do this, you go on your layers, and you're gonna select the layer that has the candle on it, and you're gonna go ahead and turn on the glow effect right here. Voila, look how good it looks, guys. Now let me first play this and show you guys what it looks like. You see what it looks like? It improved, but here's the best part. You're gonna go ahead on it, and we're gonna make a few more changes. So we're gonna change the blending mode too, which is still a better feature, and it warns you it may slow down your work, but don't worry about it. If you have a strong iPad, it will still work. And we're gonna put it on lighten, or the other one that I saw that works very well is soft light. If you put it on soft light, it's gonna give your light a little bit of, a subtle effect to look like it's underneath a glass. But watch what happens when you put it on lighten. So if we put to blending mode, lighten, look how it improves your light. But still, that's not the best part. Here's the best part. So when you tap it, we're going to go back again to turning on the glow effect, and we're going to increase the size of the glow effect. If you increase the size of the glow effect, it illuminates even more. And you can change the color of what you want the glow effect to be. So now on our glow effect, we want it to be the same exact color as our candle. So we're going to go in here in the yellows and give it a little bit of a lighter yellow color close to our candle light, and that should be good. And we want the hardness to be low. Yeah, you want the hardness to be very low, about 4%. The alpha is the color of the glow effect. You want it to be a lot colored or not colored. So that one, you gotta put it up in the 90s. Size, leave the size to about between 50 to 65 or 70%. That will give you a very good sizeage. But now the opacity means how much you want, how much alpha, how much color you want into your glow effect. I usually leave that at around 96% because I want to see the color in there. And after playing around with those effects, guys, look what we have now. Boom. There goes your candle. See, it looks so real. It's very hard to believe somebody did it in FlipaClip. And that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to show you in today's tutorial. So thank you so much for watching, and we're gonna go ahead and export our video, and I hope to see you again in the next tutorial pretty soon. Bye bye for now.